The Ultimate Hunter. It's really overbuilt, but it's not one of those crazy, looks goofy overbuilt. It's just seriously solid overbuilt, which is really nice because I have used this almost to the point of being a fixed blade. You can hold back here and just chop, and I have chopped some serious wood with this, with the lock that they have put in there, and I don't even remember. It's a Lockback, but it's super special, heavy duty, really cool, whiz bang, neato, patented something or other that the engineers at Cold Steel came up with. But it's cool. The fact that you can thumb flick a Lockback is pretty darn cool. When I'm out and about, I'm opening and closing. And it does not take long to break one of these bad boys in, and everything gets nice and happy with each other. You need some of that grit to break things in, to create a pathway for the different parts that are going to be together for a very long time. It's like a marriage of parts, and they kind of have to find a happy spot so that it locks solidly, so that it opens smoothly. And that takes some time, a lot of break-in. You flush it with a lot of oil, you'll see a bunch of black come out. I've even gone so far as to just put it on a heavy paper towel on top of something plastic, because you're going to use a lot of this. Spray WD-40 in there after several hundred, maybe 1,000 openings, and it's going to flush crap out. Then let all that dry, then start lubricating it with a knife oil, and you're going to have a very smooth operating knife. I mean, that is buttery smooth. I did all my rounding, smoothing things off, really rounded that. That comes down to kind of a square point, and it's kind of sharp, especially when you cinch up on it and you're maybe doing feather sticks, that sort of thing, because I'm not a big fan of hot spots on a knife when you're doing a lot of heavy work. I've always been a big believer in the only thing sharp on a knife should be the edge. Speaking of which, S35VN, they're heat treating it properly. Unlike Chris Reeve, these guys are doing it right. So on a $105 knife, you can get this blade, S35VN, holds a great edge, keeps a great edge, and for being so big, it is a good slicer. In all my years of dealing with knives and carrying knives and having sold knives, I never actually thought that I would recommend a Cold Steel knife, but I have to say, I recommend this knife. Even though it's owned by a conglomerate now that is not Cold Steel, these have got to be made in the same plant. It's just new owners. Made in Taiwan. It's a beefy knife, but yet you can pocket carry it. It does some delicate tasks, does really heavy tasks. Might not be the one you want to wear to church. As it stands, awesome knife. Would I like to see some changes? Yes. I made some of those changes myself, but some of the other stuff that I'd like to see happen, there's just no parts for that. There's not an aftermarket parts business for these guys. I'd like to have a black clip, black screws, black hardware, and a black blade would be cool. DLC it. You want to get a little amused? Go to the Cold Steel site and look at some of their designs. Some of them are comical, outlandish, goofy. Stuff that you would see at the state fair. I mean, that's their niche. They can have it. For not a lot of money, and for a knife that has proven itself in the field by a lot of guys and is still in production, I would recommend getting the Ultimate Hunter. And don't panic, don't think you're getting a fake one. If you happen to see that logo on a knife, that is the new logo by the conglomerate that bought Cold Steel. Order yourself one of these and then play with it. Make it your own. I think you'll be really happy with it.